They said he was done with the royals. They said he burned every bridge, walked away for good, and never looked back. But then, in a move nobody saw coming, Prince Harry landed back in the UK, not with photographers lined up to capture the perfect handshake, not with palace aides polishing his return. Number. He walked in quietly, holding nothing but his phone, a phone loaded with videos of Archie and Lilibet, and that was all it took to reopen a door that many thought had been slammed shut forever. This wasn't a royal parade, no trumpets, no balcony wave, just Harry walking back into the world he left behind, armed with home videos and a smile that, let's be honest, told us more than a press release ever could. For a moment, it looked like a son trying to fix something broken. With his father, with the country, maybe even with himself. But the real story? The story behind that smile? It's messy. It's brutal. And it's a nightmare Meghan Markle probably never imagined would play out. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because the royal machine isn't just about crowns and castles. It's about power plays, image wars, and family drama so ruthless it makes Hollywood look like kindergarten. And trust me, what you're about to hear will change the way you see Harry's so-called reconciliation. Let's rewind. Harry touched down without Meghan, without the kids, without the Hollywood gloss. Just him. And he wasn't there for a quick photo op. He wasn't there to wave and fly out. He was there to sit down with King Charles, face to face, for the first time in nearly 2 years. And not in some giant ceremonial hall with staff hovering. No, Queen Camilla, no aides scribbling notes, just a private tea at Clarence House. 55 minutes, father and son, alone. Now, for most families, that doesn't sound like much. But in the Windsor world, that's huge. The royal calendar is a machine. Every minute scheduled, every second accounted for. So, when the king, who is literally battling cancer, clears his diary for nearly an hour with the son who trashed the family in interviews, Netflix specials, and a best-selling memoir, that means something. And it's not a casual catch-up. It's a statement. And Harry knew it. He came armed. Reports say he pulled out his phone and showed his father videos of Archie and Lilibet. Think about that for a second. Charles barely knows his own grandchildren. The kids have been kept at a distance for years, and suddenly there they were, smiling on a screen, calling Papa, living thousands of miles away. That's not just sweet, that's tactical. That's an emotional olive branch wrapped in innocence. And for Charles, who's facing his own mortality, that must have hit like a gut punch. And Harry? He was glowing, beaming in a way we haven't seen in years. It was the look of a man who felt like he belonged again, like he had a seat at the table he once walked away from. That smile was dangerous, because for Meghan, this is exactly the scenario she tried to escape. Let's not sugarcoat this. Meghan Markle didn't drag Harry across the Atlantic to sip tea with Charles. She left the palaces, the cold corridors, the endless rules, because she wanted a new life. California sun, big brand deals, Hollywood power moves. She wanted control. And for a while it looked like she had it. Oprah, Spotify, Netflix, magazine covers. Meghan and Harry were everywhere. The golden couple who walked away and won. But then, cracks. Spotify pulled the plug. The Archetypes podcast faded. The Netflix buzz cooled. Meghan's lifestyle empire, hyped as her big comeback, stumbled right out of the gate. And meanwhile, Harry, the same Harry who was supposed to be building this new empire with her, is back in London, drinking tea with his father, being cheered at the Invictus Games, and looking, for the first time in years, genuinely happy. Now ask yourself, what does that do to Meghan? Because when she walked away, she wasn't just quitting a job. She was rewriting her story. Outsider turned royal, insider turned liberated woman who didn't need the crown. But here's Harry, smiling like he never left. That's not just inconvenient, that's dangerous to the narrative. And let's be clear, Harry didn't just bump into Charles. This wasn't an accidental reunion. His team spent months negotiating this meeting. Every detail carefully arranged to stay private, secret, controlled. That's not casual. That's diplomacy. That's a re-entry strategy. Harry is testing the waters, and Charles, by agreeing, cracked the door open, just slightly. But enough. Now here's the twist, and it's the part Meghan can't control. Nostalgia. You see, in California, Harry's just another celebrity, another rich guy with a famous wife, but in the UK, he's still Prince Harry, the boy who walked behind his mother's coffin, the soldier, the cheeky royal everyone loved. That name still carries weight. That presence still draws crowds. And once Harry tasted that again, you could see it. He missed it. Badly. Which brings us to Prince William. Because if Harry is dipping his toes back into royal waters, someone's not thrilled. And that someone is his brother. William wasn't told about the tea with Charles. He wasn't invited. He wasn't consulted. And insiders say he's furious. And honestly, who can blame him? Harry has dragged William and Kate through the mud for years. From the Oprah interview to the memoir, William came out looking cold, ruthless, even cruel. So now, while Harry's flashing smiles with their father, William is left out of the loop, blindsided yet again. And Kate? Let's not forget. She's still recovering privately, her health battles kept carefully guarded from the press. The last thing William needs is more royal drama, but Harry's return guarantees it. That brotherly bond, once unbreakable, now looks like a fracture that may never heal. And yet, Charles seems willing to take the risk. And here's where the whole story shifts. Because Harry's trip wasn't just about tea and Invictus. It was about testing Meghan's grip. While Harry was embraced in London, Meghan stayed behind in Montecito. And let's be honest, that wasn't just logistics. That was strategy. Because had she shown up, the optics would have been brutal. Meghan smiling for cameras, while the UK public still remembers the Oprah accusations, the Netflix digs, the endless victim narrative. It would have been a disaster. So she stayed in California, posting subtle nods, trying to control the narrative from a distance. But here's the problem. The narrative is slipping. Harry standing at Buckingham Palace gates, Harry being cheered at public events, Harry sipping tea with Charles. Those images speak louder than any podcast or Instagram story. And they whisper one thing Meghan doesn't want to hear. We missed you. And that whisper, that's power, real power, the kind Meghan can't manufacture in Hollywood boardrooms, because legacy beats lifestyle brands. A crown, even a distant one, carries more weight than a podcast deal. And Harry knows it. You can see it in his face. That sense of purpose, that identity, that royalty. And what about the kids? Archie and Lilibet are the wildcards. They've barely met their grandfather. They don't know William and Kate's children. They're growing up in a California bubble, cut off from the royal roots that define half their identity. And Harry feels it. He's already hinted, life is precious. I don't know how long my father has. That's not PR spin. That's urgency. That's a son realizing time is running out, not just for reconciliation, but for his kids to know where they come from. But Meghan, she sees it differently. For her, bringing the kids back means opening the floodgates. Paparazzi, royal protocol, losing control. And control is her lifeline. Every step Harry takes toward the UK is a step away from the carefully constructed California bubble. And that's why this isn't just a family reunion. It's a war for direction. Harry pulled one way, Meghan pulling the other. And let's not pretend this is just about emotions. It's about survival. Meghan's empire isn't thriving. Harry's reputation in the US has cooled. But in the UK, Harry's still a star. And the royals, whether they like it or not, know they may need him. Charles, weakened by illness. William, carrying the weight of the crown's future. A fractured monarchy could benefit from Harry's return, even if it's only partial. So, what happens next? Does Harry keep coming back piece by piece until he's fully woven back into the royal machine? Or does Meghan double down, reminding him of every slight, every betrayal, every headline that once drove him out? That's the battle ahead. But let me say this. Watching Harry walk through London, glowing, cheered, sipping tea with his father, that wasn't a man trapped. That wasn't a man regretting. That was a man remembering. Remembering who he was, remembering where he belonged. And that smile might be the most dangerous thing Meghan's ever faced. So here's the question. Is Harry really back for good? Or is this just another act in the longest-running royal soap opera in history? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Harry will fully return to royal life? Or is Meghan too powerful to let it happen? And if you want the unfiltered truth about the royals, not the palace press releases, not the Hollywood spin, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this story is just getting started.